Hi kids, so today we're going to read the book Tree, and it was written by Paul Czajak. I don't know, it's a name I can't pronounce, and Rashin something, so I'm going to point it right here. Those are the names of the authors and illustrator of this book. So let's get started. Nestled in the branches of a tree, Arlo opened his book and breathed in. This is Arlo up here in this tree. Beginnings were always the best part. They smelled as if anything were possible. Oh no, look what happened. Bonk. I'm so sorry, Mayor. I got lost in my book and it slipped.
Preposterous. Books are dangerous. I don't trust them. They act like seeds which grow into ideas, and ideas turn into questions. I will tell you what you need to know.
First, the mayor gathered every book in the library, and then every book in the whole town. And then he tore them up until all that was left was a single page that floated away in a passing breeze. Arlo chased the page as it blew across the town. It reminded him of dandelion seeds drifting on a wish. When it landed, the muddy earth swallowed the letter by letter until it was gone. Arlo thought that perhaps the mayor was right. After all, he'd been elected mayor. He must know something. But without books, Arlo noticed changes wherever he looked. At school, the teachers had nothing to read, so story time became nap time. And without cookbooks, restaurants only served cereal. And no one went to the theater since actors had nothing to act out. And in the place Arlo loved most, all the shelves were empty. Look at all these sad people. Look, they're just sad without books. Arlo sat where the last page was buried. He missed the crack and the creak of a book spine the first time you open it. He longed for the smell and the crisp texture of books' pages. But most of all, he missed getting lost in the epic adventure. Sadly, Arlo scratched 2 words into the dirt. Endings were the worst part of any book. Says the end. But as he started and stared at the words, it grew into an idea. Arlo sat with his pencil and paper and let the ideas flow. Look at all those ideas. He read his stories out loud to anyone who passed by, but no one stopped to listen. Then Arlo heard something, a sound he thought he'd never hear. Again, the familiar crack and creak. When Arlo looked for the source of the sound, he saw a sprout springing from where the page had been buried. It began to open its leaves. It reached for Arlo's words, begging for more. With every story Arlo wrote and read aloud, the sprouts grew. Arlo wrote a story about a giant, and the tree grew tall and stretched for the clouds. He wrote a story about a fire-breathing beast, and its branches became strong as dragon claws. He wrote about a magical swan made of paper, and blossoms of tissue paper blossomed into books. When the books were ripe, Arlo climbed into the branches of the books and breathed deeply, enjoying the fruits of his harvest. And while Arlo read, a friend stopped underneath the tree. "I'm bored. There's nothing to do." "Well, you could try reading," Arlo said. "Is that a book?" "Yep, here, I love this story," Arlo said, giving her a hand up into the tree, and the two shared the shady spot. Soon flocks of readers roosted on the limbs. Books spread through the town like pollen in the wind. People grew hungry for reading again. Some wrote their own stories and, became book gardeners themselves. Fiery maples bloomed with picture books. Willows wept with poetry. The fruit trees filled with cookbooks flourished. As the trees grew, the town blossomed. The mayor, lost in his mayoral duties, work. Let me try that again. The mayor, lost in his mayoral work, was oblivious to all the changes. That is, until a ripe book fell on his head. Bonk. The mayor kicked and stomped.
"Who planted these trees?"
"Well, you did, sir," Arlo said. "When you tore up the books, it planted an idea."
"Impossible! This is the second time my head is hurting because of a book. The trees must be cut down."
"But we've become a town of books and stories. You can't cut them down," said Arlo. The mayor walked the streets of the town. He gorged himself at one of his five-star restaurants. He caught a show in the park and lost himself in a story about a boy fishing for a whale in a puddle. "Books did all this?" the mayor asked, astonished. "No," said Arlo, as he handed the mayor a freshly picked story. "The book was just the seed." The end. Well, I hope you liked our book, The Book Tree. And if you want to hear another one, just click on my, there's a playlist that says Head Start Read Alouds, and you can listen to another book. See you guys later. Bye.